undeniably the best decision I've ever made in my life is about 5 years ago when I decided to go to daily Catholic Mass every day. And 5 years later, here I am. And over the past 5 years or so, I would say I've probably not gone to Mass on a day, maybe 15 to 20 times. Like probably on a given year, like maybe 3 to 4 times, maybe even less than that. Because I just love, like my life, the pillar of my day, every day, is going to Mass. And it is fascinating to look back and think that now has just radically, drastically changed my life as the best decision I've ever made. Because growing up, Mass was not something that I particularly loved or really understood. I distinctly remember growing up and being like on a Sunday morning, kind of secretly wishing, because we grew up going to Mass every Sunday, but kind of secretly wishing like my parents would sleep in and forget to wake us up for Mass. Because I just like didn't really understand it, didn't really see the point. And certainly I never would have thought of the idea of like willingly on my own choosing outside of like Catholic school Mass to go to Mass more than just on Sundays. The idea is sort of preposterous and unthinkable to my youthful self. And it really wasn't until when I was, 20, 21 years old, where the idea even of going to Mass more often became a reality. Like once I got into college, start every so often going to an occasional Mass during the week. But it was about, 5 years ago in 2020 when I just decided to start going to Mass more often. I think I actually tried earlier at one point to just as like a personal challenge to go to Mass every day, and I totally failed. It just like became a difficult thing to fit into my schedule or whatever, and I still didn't really understand it, and it didn't work. But at some point, I don't even remember when, and I don't really even remember why, I just started going each day. I think out of a place of coming to understand more the Eucharist, what we receive at Catholic Mass, which appears to be just bread and wine in this like commemoration of the Last Supper with Jesus. But coming to understand what we believe about that, at the Catholic Church, every time you go to Mass, what takes place when the priest says the words that Jesus spoke over the bread, "This is my body," and over the chalice, "This is my blood," there is transubstantiation, where the substance of what appears to be bread and what appears to be wine is transformed into the body and blood of Jesus. That like in the Eucharist, what takes place at Mass is that heaven comes to earth. Jesus Christ is not just in some sort of spiritual way, but like physically present to us. Heaven comes to earth. It's Christmas every day. Jesus comes down to be in the church with us, and not only like to be present before our eyes, but we then enter into communion. Like we become one with Jesus in the Eucharist. Why would you not want that? Why would you, if it was offered to you to say you can become physically one with the God of the universe and have the blood of God flowing through your veins, like divinity is going to come and live inside of you. That's what happens when you go to Mass, when you receive Jesus in the Eucharist. Why would you not want that as often as possible? And I think that's just sort of the realization I came to over some time. And eventually I got to a place where I'm just going to start going every day. And for sure didn't understand everything, but I think over time fell in love with going to Mass every single day. And so I have. For 5 years now, it's become like an essential part, a pillar of my day every day. And I hardly ever miss going to Mass, whatever it takes to get to Mass every day. And I've been blessed to be in a location where there's Mass available to do that. But man, it has changed my life. And of course, when I say this sometimes to people of like, I got to get to Mass today, the common refrain is like, you don't have to. Like, it's not like God's going to not love you if you don't go to Mass every day. Of course. Yeah, I know that. Like, it's not an obligation. It is a deep, deep desire. Like, if God himself gave us this great gift that inside every Catholic church in the world, he is physically present. And what he has said to us is, I want to become one with you in this way. Like, this is how God, when Jesus said to the apostles in the last words in the Gospel of Matthew, he says, and behold, I am with you always to the end of the age. And the way by which he does that is in this sacramental way through the Eucharist, like where he is with us always and desires to be one with us. Why would you not want that? It's the greatest gift in the entire world. It is a foretaste of heaven where we come as one body of believers to sing the song of the angels for eternity in heaven. We get a glimpse of eternity and sing, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God of hosts. We get to behold the God of the universe, and not only to see him, but to for him to enter into our bodies. It's the most incredible thing in the entire world. It's miraculous. It's heaven on earth every single time we go to Mass. So yeah, it's not an obligation. For sure. I mean, on Sunday, there is this obligation to go to Mass, and it's a requirement because this is the greatest gift that God gives us. It's the way by which God has asked for us to worship him. And the ask of God is that we would become one with him. That's how much he loves us. He wants to love us in this way. So the church asks of us to go and receive the love of God at least every Sunday. But if it's offered to you to do it more often, then man, why would you not want to? I heard this recently. Someone said that I am hard-pressed to find a canonized saint in the church who did not have a devotion to going to daily Mass. And I don't actually know if that's accurate, because I'm pretty certain that there are plenty of canonized saints who lived in war-torn areas or in places where there weren't a ton of available priests and practically logistically couldn't go to daily Mass every single day. But I think it is accurate to say, I don't think there is a canonized saint who didn't have a great love and devotion for the Eucharist. I think you'd be very hard-pressed to find someone who is a saint in the church, recognized as someone who now lives for eternity in heaven, who did not on earth love and deeply devote themselves to the Eucharist, and who probably, given the opportunity, would go to Mass as often as possible. Because again, I don't know why you won't want to. So this is a little bit of just my testimony, and I want to give a little bit too of the I am such an advocate for, if possible, if you live in a place where Mass is available for you to go, even if it's not daily every single day, but as often as possible during the week, not just on Sunday, do it. It is the one thing that has changed my life, and I am so confident it is the one thing that will change the world and change your life as well, if you just give it a shot. So my just general practicals to finish this off is learn a little. I think Mass is sort of a barrier to Mass if you're no idea what's going on here, how to do this, what to do. Learn a little, but I think also the idea of Mass is there's a little bit of a mystery. It doesn't need to be solved. It doesn't need to be fully understood. Just to know that we are engaging in the worship of heaven, and there is something far beyond my comprehension going on here. Even for me, who's gone to Mass every day for 5 years, I don't understand the depths and the richness of everything that goes on at Mass. So maybe learn a little, but know that you'll learn as you go. My understanding of Mass has evolved over time. Every day, I feel like I'm learning more, noticing more things about Mass, and still don't know the depths of the mystery of what's going on. But I do think that the more that you know, the more that you'll come to love it, and the better you're able to engage with it. Maybe the more that you'll want to, because of the familiarity of it. So I think part of it maybe is becoming familiar, and the familiarity grows over just practice and maybe some extra learning. But I think the other thing is priority. Not just familiarity, but priority. When I first tried to start going to Mass every day, my problem was this is so hard to fit into my schedule around all the other things I'm doing. Where it needs to be the opposite. Like, if Mass is truly the greatest possible thing you could do on this earth, then it should be the case that everything else in my schedule fits around Mass. This is the priority. This is the number one thing of my time, of my day, of my energy. So, like, to make Mass the pillar from which everything else revolves around, everything else is like fit into my daily life schedule and routine around Mass. And this is a super possible thing to do, to say, like, first thing on my calendar on a given day is that I'm for sure going to get to Mass. There's plenty of places to look online. Mass Times, masstimes.org is the website, or there's an app for it. You can look that up. It's a great resource. You can look by city or zip code or something to see where are the Mass times around me. I think it's also sort of a neat opportunity, because maybe your local church, the parish that you attend regularly on Sundays, doesn't have the ideal daily Mass times for you, or doesn't have a regular Mass time that you could attend. This is a cool opportunity to explore other churches. This is, I think, actually one of the reasons why I came to appreciate and enjoy going to daily Mass, is because I got to see more of the church. And I think I came to love more of the church because I saw other churches. I saw, like, the variety of parishes in my area and found different things I could love and appreciate. I think growing up, I went to one parish all the time, and that is all I knew about the church. And any other way of doing Mass was, like, foreign and almost offensive to me. But I think that if you can just, like, look around, daily Mass is a great opportunity to just become more familiar with the church. And maybe at the beginning it's like, it's kind of uncomfortable, I don't really understand it. But it's also a cool way to see beautiful new churches and to learn more about the faith. So Mass Times is a great resource for that, but to make it a priority. Not that, like, Mass is something I try to fit in around all of my other things that I'm doing, but Mass is the pillar of my day around which everything else gets scheduled. To say that Mass is a non-negotiable in my day. Right now, at this point in my life, daily Mass is a non-negotiable. Like, I am hard-pressed to find a reason for which, like, something would get in the way if I am, like, physically able to get to Mass, I'm going. Like, if it means waking up early, or adjusting my sleep schedule even, or adjusting what I do the day before so I can get enough sleep to wake up in the morning, it's a non-negotiable. Because life is poor without it. Life on earth is poor without the Eucharist. Because it is a foretaste of heaven. It's a taste of our homeland. It's a taste of the place that we are made for. Communion with God and eternity in heaven. Like, this is what our hearts long for. It's some ache that I think every human person has, even if they don't understand what it is. It's the ache to be reunited with their Creator, who comes to be with us in the Mass every single day. It's available. The longing of your heart can be satisfied if you walk into a Catholic church and go to daily Mass. It's done it for me, and so I get fired up talking about it. It is, for sure, the one thing that has changed my life the most. I think it could be for you too. Greatest decision I've ever made. And I can't imagine I will ever stop. So I will continue to go to daily Mass after these 5 years. And my invitation to you, give it a shot and see what the Lord can do for you if you choose to do the same.